guys, how are you?
Tatiana, is it weird that you get 9 minutes? That's like such a random
It's
number.
a very specific number, yes,
Did you
but I
ask for
love it.
10 and they negotiated you down to 9? It sounds like
You know,
it.
I just rolled the dice and this is what I got, and I love it. Speaking of rolling the dice, I don't know that you guys ever expected Psych to have like 8 seasons and 3, hopefully going on 5 movies. But it is a blessing that it just gets to keep returning. What is it like for you guys to always come back to this well and revisit these beloved characters, starting with Steve?
It's so fun. I mean, everything we've ever done, it's driven by fun, and it's wish fulfillment. It's all wish fulfillment. Every one of our episodes, whether it's going to be Indiana Jones this week, it's going to be we're going to do ghosts, we're going to do all these things. So for us, it's like getting to get back and get with these people. I mean, I'm sure people say this all the time, but it's such a joy. We laugh so hard, and to live in these characters, they're so fun to write. I'm working on a couple other things right now, and you're getting to know, you're learning all these things. But the second we start opening up a new Psych script, it's just you just immediately you're immersed in a world that's just fun to be in. And writers don't like to write; they like having written. But I love the process of writing these guys. I don't care, if we have no third act, we have no second act. It doesn't matter to me. It's still fun, and we'll be able to figure it out. And what's so great about these movies is we're sort of able to give like the emotions the time they deserve now, and so we can go as deep into the emotions as we want, and we can also go as silly as we want to counterbalance. As you've seen with this movie, we've taken the extremes and pushed them a little further. But it's such a joy. I mean, it's fun talking to you about it. So if I'm this excited about doing that, it's pretty amazing. And I'm hoping we get to do. When we're on the pilot, I told Chris, there's no way this doesn't go to series. And then everybody else don't curse it. Then I said on the first episode, there's no way it doesn't go 5 seasons. Then we had to start expanding it. And then we said 8 years. Okay, that's great. But then once we get to 6 years, I go 6 years in a movie, 6 years in 2 movies. And now it's 8 seasons, 6 movies with an asterisk that maybe I'll expand it.
Oh my God, I love it. It will never end. Now, yeah. Chris, one of the moments early on in the movie that I love is when Gus says to Sean, there's never been a woman that you didn't find something wrong with, right? I don't remember what the line was. Right. That. But what I love is that through these movies, we've really gotten to expand on the Gus and Selene relationship and gotten to really see him in love and see that blossom. Can you talk about how you guys are constantly evolving this relationship and letting him breathe in a romance, I guess?
Well, we always say that, and I was saying earlier how it's interesting because when you come back to the movies, you always sort of discuss how far you want to jump ahead. Like, do we want to start right where we left off? Do we want to see them take bigger steps in their lives this time, or smaller steps, or just do an adventure and not address the evolution? And, it always comes down to the best version, the best ideas for each movie always has to do with the evolutions of these characters, because we want to see it and we've missed them. Steve's missed writing them. We've missed shooting them. We've missed all being together and making these. And so you want to know what's next in life for Lassiter, and what's next in life for Chief Vic, and what's next in life for Sean and Gus. So the evolution is really what these movies are all about. And I always worry that if we go too fast, we're going to run out of stuff. All right, now they have kids, and now it's daddy daycare. And what does it change the dynamic of the show? And, it never really does, because no matter what you throw at them, whether it's girlfriends, wives, babies, pregnancies, whatever it is, as long as we keep the dynamic, those relationships intact, and we try to get them to get sucked into solving crimes, we're always going to laugh. And the stakes now as grown-ups with real responsibilities only make it funnier,
Definitely. And speaking of babies, of course, it's wonderful that Gus is going to be a father, but he's not the only father in town. We obviously, as always, have Sean and Henry, but also we have Carlton getting to be with his daughter Lily. Like, I feel like that's such a nice, fun, new dynamic. Can you talk about crafting that, Steve, and what you wanted that to bring to the table?
Yeah, it was one of the things that came out of it's obviously Tim's journey mirrors the journey of Lassiter, and so much of the heroism of Tim's bravery is also part and parcel to his wife, who has been, who has been there along with him, and his family. And so we thought it would be an interesting way to look at it through the eyes of his daughter. And for Tim, who does believe in these sort of, macho old, I say old timey, from 20 years ago, but it is sort of these our show always plays with what is the idea of masculinity. Our guys have not kicked ass, and it's all the women doing all the ass kicking since, I think, season 6. I maybe further back. It's always Juliet who comes and Chifik who come to the rescue. So the idea of this guy, of Lassiter, trying to do everything and within his recovery and not realizing surrounding him is the secret and the answer, and something much richer than the job he's pining for, and the duty he has. So it was a really fun way to look at it through his daughter Lily, and those scenes were so incredibly powerful. We ended up finding this actress who was just amazing, and everything she said was like, she's so good. She's so good. But it felt, first of all, I mean, some of the lines, like, Tim had one thing that he wanted to put in there, and it was about getting his reading glasses. Because he's always leaving his reading glasses, and that comes right out of his life. His daughter's always was the one who was always bringing him his reading glasses. Otherwise, he couldn't see what he needed to see at the time. So it was, to us, it was like, wow, this is like, we felt like we lucked into this great, amazing dynamic, and that's what's so great about being able to do these movies. It's like, and the show, I don't know if we would have had the opportunity to have scenes that long and all of that, and to bring in the element of Henry trying to come in and help him, and the daughter being the only one who can identify that this guy can help him as well. It's like lots of cool levels for a show that does as silly of things that we do in the rest of this movie. It's really rewarding and nice moment.
Oh, absolutely.
What I really loved about that, when I first read it, and then certainly when we shot it and it was on film, was the notion that Lassiter is struggling to accept who Lassie 2.0 is going to be. Right? He wants to go back to Lassie 1.0 and be the chief of police and have all of his skills. And he feels a little lost, and he hasn't quite accepted Lassie 2.0. But what we see, and what's really evident, is that his wife and his daughter have completely accepted Lassie 2.0. And there's no question. So it's like nothing's wrong, nothing's changed, and they're completely okay with it. And so and I think what happens, what I hope happens, and everybody sees in that movie, is that he realizes that he may be the only one who hasn't accepted it, and it's okay. Right. So that was what was really special about the writing in that scene and the performances in that scene for me.
Well, it was very beautiful, and I think that definitely comes across. I cannot wait for
Awesome.
everyone to watch all their faves come back to life this time, and hopefully many more. Thank you guys so much.
Oh, thank you so much.
Awesome.
It's a lot of fun.
Good to
Have
see
a
you.
great day.